Okay, so my second installment episode of Messages from the Mountain is in regards to, I guess, being fearless. Being fearless. So, yesterday I was talking about how it's important to be in shape. So I guess another lesson that was a reminder lesson was to be fearless, to be fearless. Um, I will say this topic, it has many moving parts, but I questioned why after praying over the house, around the house, and all of that I would have a nightmare my first night there. Now, a key thing is to remember that what we in the flesh, we as humans, what we call a nightmare could in fact just be a warning in the spirit from the Most High. Because I was like, what? How can I get attacked? And we did all that praying yesterday. That's why it's important there's so many working pieces when you're a dreamer, when you're a prophetic dreamer. So this lesson is teaching me, no matter how weird the dream is, no matter how scary the dream is, you have to do work after the dream. If that's how he speaks to you, you have to do work after the dream. Praying, of course, interceding, whether it's for yourself or for anyone else. I'm even going to start asking questions like, because most times it's like, okay, well, Father, what does this mean? What was this about? And then I go about my day. I feel like, because I was able to get confirmation the very next day as to what it was. Because can't nobody tell me that wasn't confirmation. And those that were there, I'm sure would say, yeah, that was confirmation. But again, the lesson from the mountain or whatever was to be fearless. Because though I woke up and I was like kind of confused, like, why, I feel like after looking at all of the moving pieces, it wasn't me that was attacked. It was a warning, because again, it's like even when you study angels, like, that, let me stay on track. Even when you study angels, it can be scary. Like looking at how they are physically described, right? So when you are a dreamer and that's how the Most High speaks to you, it's like, it can be scary, but you have to be fearless and know, like, okay, this was wild, but hey, maybe the Father is meaning for you. And you know what? Now I don't think I interceded the way I was supposed to, but all is well. So had the dream, was kind of like, what's going on? Why am I being attacked? It was me trying to get to someone, and I was muted and paralyzed in the dream. Y'all know how they talk about the witch riding your back. Like, and I used to get that as a child a lot, where it's like you can't move, you can't speak. And I was calling out to this person, and it was like, okay, I couldn't move, I couldn't get out of the room, this, that, and the other. The very next day, I had to be fearless, and there was an encounter. I was so nervous to say it, but I kept feeling it, like, say it, ask the question, say it, ask the question. And I had to ask, who sent you? Who sent you? And the person was like, what do you mean? And in my mind, I'm like, hold up. Because if you working in this field and ministry and all of that, and you doing all of what you doing, you should know how to answer that question. In my opinion, I feel like you should know how to answer that question. So I was like, okay. Then later, I think I asked it again because it was just little things that I kept seeing. And I'm like, later on, I realized, I'm like, oh, that was the dream. That was the dream. Because I was asking this question in protection of a sister. Because I was like, yeah, something seems off. But yeah, that's the lesson. That's my other lesson. To be fearless. You got to be fearless. You got to be fearless. Because I was like, But I mean, like, I already saw stuff, but it was like the way that the question was answered. Then when I asked it the second time, they were like, nobody sent them. No, the first time they were like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And then they said nobody. And then the second time, I think they mentioned, let me not lie. So I'm not sure, but it was just like the response wasn't very reassuring to me. But in that scenario, in how all of that worked together, the dream, the interceding, the actual day of deliverance and all of that, and how I feel like I was operating, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to say anything, but there were a few times, I think maybe at least twice, where I actually verbalize something, and normally I would be like, nope, I'm leaving it alone. This ain't my business. This ain't about me. But because I was operating in fearless intercession. That's good. That's good. Fearless intercession. You have to be. Okay, sorry. I saw a doggy. You have to be fearless in your intercession. Because in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, so intercession is not just, okay, I'm behind the wall, I'm in the closet, I'm praying for someone. I now see that there's another side to intercession that may be a little uncomfortable, that may cause you to have to operate in fearlessness. Whew. So yeah, okay, all right, that's the other lesson from the mountain, or message from the mountain.